continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. My name is EJ, and I got my man
MH.
And we're gonna jump right to it, man. We already got him on the screen, and some of us will be joining. Some will be joining in a minute. But it's that June live show. All right, this is what we talk about. All the things that happened during the month of June. Maybe some things that are coming up. But this is a live show, man. So MH, call them out.
Yes, sir, Mr. Grant Birdie. I'm so excited for y'all to be here, man. This is it's an exciting time. How y'all doing?
I'm good. I'm happy I can make it today.
Mr. Hall, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I appreciate y'all hitting me up, telling me to come on.
Man. It's good to see y'all again.
So, kind of give us updates. We're still waiting for some the days to kind of fill in. So, Birdie, kind of give us some updates. What's going on in your world? What you're excited about? We'll start with that.
I think last time we talked, I think in May, I was telling you guys how I had my young man that won a state championship in track. We actually just got back from the Nike Outdoor Nationals in Oregon, which was really awesome. He finished 10th in the nation, and he missed out on being an All-American by less than 2 inches in a triple jump. So the top 8 becomes an All-American. He jumped 47 feet flat, and the 8th place was 47 1 1/4. And yeah, but it was an unbelievable experience. Like, we're really happy about it, really happy for him. We had another young man that did good as well in the 400, and he finished 16th nationally in the 400. So it was a great time. Great experience. Definitely an eye opener. And yeah, you want to play with the big boys, you got to go up there for sure.
And that whole sentiment, right? Like, it's just a couple of inches, a couple of feet, it's very small difference when you're getting up in that rarefied air. So, So awesome. Congratulations to you and him. Just definitely shot him out, man. What was his name?
His name is Michael Walker.
Michael Walker. Shout out to Michael Walker, man. Absolutely. Coach, Mr. Hall, what you got going on? Tell us some good news, man. Tell us something good.
Man, a vacation right now, hell. Let's see. Since we last talked, we've had house settlement issues that took forever to finally get settled. Of course, Georgia Southern, we opted in.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I've been dealing with, man. Just recruiting summer OVs. And because, we no longer have July, thanks NCAA, because we no longer have July, we try to jam pack all those OVs in before, the dead period hits. But I guess the upside to that is we get a little bit longer of a vacation now. So it's some silver linings everywhere. But that's what I've been up to, man. Recruiting, man. ABC, always be recruiting. It don't stop, bro.
Always be recruiting.
Always be recruiting. I think that's gonna be
I need it.
We'll work that out.
I gotta give a shout out to our director of player personnel on the defensive side of the ball, man. That's what he and I say. So I'm just like, I'm like, man, that's gonna stick, bro. Always be recruiting. ABC, baby, because it's nonstop. I'm on break and I still got a million DMs. They're allowed to talk to us via Twitter and stuff. So I got a million DMs I'll get to when I get back, man. This vacation, I'm not checking a single Twitter DM unless it's just 100% vital.
Understood. Young EP, man, what you got, man? Tell us something good. What you got? Something good, real quick.
Get rowdy.
Oh gosh.
Get proud. Mavs 6, baby.
Oh boy, you're already Mavs. It's so funny if for all of our listeners that follow us, right? The turn that my young nephew has had with his Mavs from I think you're even changing teams. You're changing both of your teams. You're about to leave the Cowboys, you're about to leave the Mavs.
All it took was a threat. That's all it did. All it took was a threat. I threatened the Cowboys and said I'll go to the Bengals. They said, let's get picked.
Yeah, you can lead the Cowboys. It's cool.
That's hilarious.
I was gonna say it. I'm not going to. I've never been one of those fans. But
So
I would
that's
say
gonna
that
be one of the
ironically.
topics today. So young EP, man, I'm looking for you to stand tall, stand proud once we get to that topic, man. DJ CEO, the creator of all of our intros, extras, our mic music, maestro. Please tell us something good, man. Tell Brooklyn to be quiet over there.
Yeah, nah, Brooklyn not gonna be quiet because she want to be a part of the show.
Oh, okay. What up, Brooklyn?
So,
Big
yeah.
ups to Brooklyn.
Something good. God, that's all I got me right now. You know,
Man.
God is good. Blessed and headed to New Orleans this weekend for Essence Fest. I'll be playing out there. So I'm
Nice.
excited about that.
Nice. Make sure you put a plug out for us, man. Me and Image need to do a live show from Essence Fest, man. We need to figure that out, man.
Actually, you're absolutely right. And I think I just recently discovered that I got a plug to somebody who kind of puts everything together. So when I touch down, I'll make sure I have those conversations.
There it is. There it is. All right. We want to give a shout out. We got Lester Smith in the chat. Kid Evans is always supporting the chat. Got a few more people in the live. So if you're on that live chat, you're watching remotely, wherever you watch from, please shoot us a hey. Jump in when we start these questions, man. So looking forward to getting started. MH, man, you got something good before we get started? Because I want to kind of figure out where do you think we should get started today, MH?
No, it's your world, man. Go ahead.
All right, man.
I'm on you.
All right, so let's just start off with the NBA draft, the snooze fest, right? Like, I want to just go ahead and get it out the way. Only person that's probably excited about the NBA draft is my little nephew in that bottom lower third. So I maybe get the screen, but before he goes or when he goes, does anybody else have anything to say about the NBA draft, the 2-day snooze fest? Not as quite as exciting as other drafts, in my opinion. Anybody got anything they want to say about the NBA draft?
Bro,
I feel like it's
forgot
been
it was
like
coming
that.
on.
That part.
See, that's the thing. Hey,
I
it's already
forgot.
gone, right?
Like, and I only knew 2 players, Ace Bailey, Cooper Flag. Like, other than that, and everything you hear about Ace is that he seems a little bit repugnant when it comes to talking to teams.
So as a recruiter, how do you feel about that, right? Because like that's the narrative and that's the media going around. Like, I like Colin Cowherd, but he's like, he always goes, where's the adults in the room, right? No one kind of gave him that coaching or the definite things like that. So how do you feel as someone that does ABC, always be cool?
So personal, you know what, man, it's always tough when you're dealing with these young athletes, because I also know that what's reported from the media is usually whatever creates the most drama and the most clickbait. So Ace Bailey may be standoffish, but I also don't know if that's a narrative that they're trying to paint, for maybe the benefit of Ace Bailey, or maybe the benefit for the teams. I mean, I can't imagine. Where's he from originally? I know he went to Rutgers, but where's he from originally? Like, I don't know, but I can't
Nephew will have
imagine.
that for you in a few seconds.
Okay, I can't imagine a standoff African American hooper
Tennessee,
wanting to be in Utah.
Chattanooga, Tennessee, at that.
Oof.
Oh, so he
Like-
from Tennessee?
Like, so I don't know. You never know. It's similar to, what was reported about what we were hearing about, like Shedeur. Yeah, he's rude. He's this. I'm like, well, that ain't what his coaches say. And because I know coaches in Colorado, I'm gonna ride with what the coaches in Colorado tell me. I'm not gonna ride with what y'all telling me, because y'all have this preconceived notion of how someone is supposed to be. Now, again, I'm not saying that he is not in fact standoffish. I'm not saying that, but I never like negative narratives being painted about kids by the media. I do, however, wish someone would get behind him and say, hey, why don't you have a conversation with the media so that this picture is not allowed to be painted of you, so that people can draw their own conclusions about who you are, what you represent, what you about. Because Ace Bailey may be awesome and he may end up being a superstar. You can never predict this. I know everybody's like, Cooper Flag's the guy. I know my man's a Mavs fan. I'm not saying Cooper ain't gonna be great. I've watched a lot of Duke games. Everything I've seen from Cooper says he's gonna be great. But who's to say that Ace Bailey ain't gonna be that guy? Everybody just knew LeBron was the only guy in his draft, him and Melo. And here came D Wade, who I ain't gonna get into this, but for a minute there, it was looking like D Wade was the guy. I'm just gonna say that. Like, so
Okay, say it.
D Wade ain't go to Cleveland. LeBron went to Miami. We're gonna put that out there, but I'll leave it at that. So
So a great question was posed, from the chat. Right? I got that on the bottom of the screen if you guys can see it. And that's true, right? Like, so did the NBA attempt to take a book out of the NFL, right? They was like, oh shit, man, y'all had people watching until the 5th round. We only got 2 rounds, right? So let's make this up. And I think I heard someone, I'm sorry I missed, and please jump over credit, but like, what black man wants to go to Utah? Like, not that he ain't gonna make it work, but that's not the like thing when he's just jumping out like, yo, like you could have said any place else but Utah. So, but Ken says, how do we counter these negative narratives, and whose responsibility is it?
So I think these things don't come from nothing, right? There's some truth that exists there, but also we're dealing with kids, right? We're just dealing with kids, and kids are going, they're still developing about who they are. I think the NFL and the NBA is just 2 completely different cultures. Like what goes into drafting and what goes into building out a team. Like people watching into the 5th round, that's just the culture of the NFL. Like nobody in the NBA, it's about the lottery. It's about the 1st round. And then nobody cares. And then we get shocked when you get a Jalen Brunson, or you get shocked when you get a Derek White, or you know what I'm saying? But that's just the culture of it. But I think also what's changed a lot, and we're seeing, and I think what we're seeing in this narrative, particularly for Ace Bailey, is that the system has now conformed to, I don't want to say pacify, but to completely service the players. Like if you're in college making millions of dollars, making it to the NBA just don't feel the same anymore. Even though for your whole life, like you practice and you go hard and you for this goal to make it, you should be grateful and thankful that you worked hard enough and people saw your talent that you made it to the NBA. That's how it should be, right? You made it to the league. But that thing gets taken away once you start giving them stuff that's usually only reserved for the pros. So it kind of takes the luster away, And again, what we talked about in the last live show, this is the least amount of players that ever declared for the NBA draft, like ever. So
because they're making that money somewhere else.
Yeah.
But how do we change the narrative though, right? Like who is it, of course, our platform, like we give everybody a voice, we get hopefully have the people that are in those lanes to speak. But is it the coach's responsibility, right? Like how do you change that or help protect that narrative? Because at the end of the day, like I think you started off with this CEO, is they are kids, right? And when of us as a culture haven't gone out and protect kids, right? Like we're supposed to put people in a nurturing or protective environment. And I'm gonna go back to you, Coach, and even you, Coach Rayford, like you were recruiting a kid. The first thing you're attempting to tell them, you want a good kid, but you're telling their parents, hey, we got you in a great environment where your kids are going to come out with a degree or whatever those promises are, right? Like, is that just lost when they're going to the pros? So who's like right, is it, or who's supposed to protect these kids?
So I guess my thing is it a narrative and is it negative if it's true? Everything that you read so far is true. He canceled his workouts. He told teams not to draft him. He told people don't call me. So we're and I get it. He's a kid and all these things, but is it negative because they're reporting the truth? I do think that at some point, these guys are entitled to a little bit of privacy and in some ways, but it's also the pros. It's public and it's public information. I've not seen an article or a show where they've come out and said this is like the worst kid. They've not talked about his behavior other than he's done. And it's true. So I think to counter that, again, I think the people around him, the people advising him, you remember back in the day, like the draft used to be the most amazing thing on TV. We couldn't wait to get home to watch the NBA draft. That was prime. That was up there with the Cosby Show at one point, Right. Now it's been probably 4 years since I've watched the draft. I don't think I've watched one since the pandemic. It's right. Not that exciting anymore. But I think the people around that person, I think also the way in which he goes about doing things. If he doesn't want to get drafted by a team, I mean, Steve Francis did that years ago. He's not the first one. But just not showing up and the way they go about things, I think one is the way, because some of the media is like vultures. They're going to report, and the story is in negative stuff. There's no story about how awesome he is. The story is in the negativity, but it's also true. So I just think the way in which they go about it, and then the people around them, and then his reported agent is not so popular either. So they're gonna pounce on that.
No, 100%, 100%. And why you did bring up the Cosby Show? This is absolutely one of the topics of the show that I want to bring out today, because it started from one and it's going to roll into another. But I'm gonna start the opposite way. So they are making a remake of Different World. I don't know if you saw that or who's seen that. And because I see some heads shaking, but I see some heads nodding. Should they leave it the hell alone? So it's going to be
Yes.
Well, first, let me say this, just so it's clear. It's not a remake. What they're doing with the show is similar to what they did with Boomerang, even though Boomerang was a movie. They're just extending the story. So we don't know what that's going to look like. I agree with Ulysses. I think you should leave it the hell alone,
bro. I'm so, and I'm gonna assume, and I could be wrong, that I'm assuming that I'm around the same age as everybody on here. Maybe some of y'all older than me. I'm tired of seeing people take something that was already good and either try to add on to it or try to debunk what we thought. Like, I watched Boomerang. Personal opinion, I didn't like it. The movie was awesome. The show, I'm like, we didn't need it. Like, we didn't need it. I'm like, why not? The same thing with movies, man. Can we just create something different? Just create something. The creativity is terrible these days in media. My mom's a script writer. We had this conversation all the time. Like, the creativity in movies, music, and I can't really even say music because I grew up in the 90s and they were sampling then. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody been sampling. So really, I guess you could say the 60s, 50s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, the 80s. I personally think the 80s is the greatest era of music, all genres. But we've had this conversation before, fellas, when I was on with y'all. I like the 80s. That's just me. But no one is creative. No one is creative. And it's the same thing in sports. The instant gratification. So like, you don't take pain. You know why we don't watch the draft? Because no one cares, really. It's like, all right, another high school kid who's really good. He's already making millions of dollars. Like, part of the allure was seeing kids live out their dream of making it to the professional sport. And the money was something that came with that. Like, to go back to what you were just talking about. Like, part of the allure of a new TV show is just seeing, what it's going to be like. I just got done watching recently with my late, that Forever. Like, and I understand the premise was a book that was written from, what's the name of the author? I didn't read her book. So my mom was telling me about the author. Cool, but she made it black. But do you know how refreshing it was to see something that wasn't like everything else that we've already seen before on TV?
That's the point of art. But in this society, in this culture today, there is no value placed on art in a lot of different industries because to be able to create art is so much more easily accessible, right? We talk about this before, like for me as a DJ, I started DJing in '96. To be a DJ, the investment was so much greater, right? You had to have a collection of records. You can't go to a party without records. You got to buy turntables. You got to buy speakers. You got to do all this. Now all you need is a laptop, right? So now the window in is so much greater, but it's the same thing with a lot of different arts. And this is what happens. Art becomes so disposable because people aren't in it for the art. They're in it because they know they can make money. I found out Tubi, like people like all the shows and the movies on Tubi is trash. Yeah, but Tubi's cutting checks. Tubi's cutting like $80,000 checks for people to put this trash up. Like, if you could get ChatGPT to write you a screenplay and you get a couple, like, it doesn't have to be great. They're going to cut the check. Why? Because, again, since us as a public has very little value and appreciation for art, we're still going to go watch it.
Right.
We're still going to go watch it. So, I mean, the remakes or the revisions of old classics and things that came out, they're never going to stop because it's too late now.
Well, I feel like there's a market for everybody, but at the same time, when I was a kid, we had reruns, not remakes. And I'll never forget when
we're dropping gems today. Yo, my girl said
Reruns, that's a hashtag.
That's a
Reruns,
hashtag,
not
right.
remakes.
Seriously though, I remember being like maybe somewhere around middle school, and what's happening now? You know, with Roger and Dwayne rerun was on, and I remember me and my brother and sister, we used to watch it, and we were telling our mom about this new TV show, and my mom's like, "Oh yeah, well, what is it?" And we tell her, and my mom's like, "I watched that when I was in high," you know, like that's how things were. Now they just, and if you're gonna make something new, call it something different. There's no way you can remake a different world. Just don't even call it that. You can copy it, you can whatever, but for those old heads like us that was around and saw that and knew what that meant, especially to the culture, don't make something new and call it that. Just be
Man, and as an HBCU grad, I'm here to take these kids, and a lot of them at HBCUs don't even have the same kind of pride that come with being at an HBCU, like in a different world. So it's like, bro, y'all don't even understand like what it is to even be here. Like y'all don't get it.
And the social importance of that show, like A Different World, single-handedly elevated the enrollment of Black students into HBCUs. Like because we up until that point we had never seen anything like that. Like if you weren't a part of a family that was higher education that went to college, or whatever, and you come from the city, y'all, you know, people barely make it out to town or whatever. Like you had never seen anything like that, so that like changed everything. Like now, it kind of almost goes even. It does kind of tie into what we were even talking about with the NBA draft and these players, right? Is that at one point we didn't know everything about everything. Now we just know everything about everything. So the significance of anything that should be important is just lessened because we know HBCUs are a brand now. Like I graduated from Howard. The Jordan brand is on all sports. Like HBCUs technically outside of like maybe the private ones, and now with Trump in office, probably the state ones too. But outside of that, we don't really need much outside of that world. Like the enrollments are the same. White folks is enrolling in HBCUs now,
bro. Dude, like I'm recruiting Raleigh a couple years ago, and I stopped by. I went to Shaw U. I stopped by my school. Like I want to see what's going on, and I go to the president's office, and I just, and it's nothing against white people, nothing at all. I just was so shocked to see the president's office filled of so many white folks. Like, when did this happen? Like, man, what's going on? So I mean, it's weird when I look at our sports page, and the whole volleyball team, half volleyball team is white. The tennis
baseball
team is
team.
it's like, bro, like
we did a show that makes
I mean, it's just I just can't even imagine. I feel like in 07 when I went to college, and again, prior to an injury in high school where I was headed to the PWI and pretty much ended up at a HBCU, I didn't know a ton. I watched A Different World, but my mindset was stuck on PWIs because I was in that world of high school football while I was getting recruited by big schools. So I ended up having to go to HBCU. But when I got there, like I can't even imagine just knowing kids back then, knowing white kids that even cared to attend HBCU. Like so now to see them just they going to HBCUs in droves, it's like, man, it's really a different time we in right now.
Yeah.
But really, is it though? I mean, because like it's that thing where like they love our culture, but they don't love us, right? So if they could go somewhere to get that experience, but it's like, nah, I'm not gonna hire you once I take this education and take this experience. Like I'm still gonna hire my cousin them. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of more of the same in a small degree, I guess. All right, to keep up with the culture, and you can probably add this statement. I think CEO you're about to go into. There's another adaptation, right? So we're going on to 106 in sports.
Wait, what?
Yes. So BET has just announced, or it's been announced, it's kind of going on, that they're going to do 106 and not Park like we all grew up on, where Mr. Bow Wow was Mr. 106 in Park. It's going to be 106 in sports, and it's going to be led by Cam Newton. So as you guys, Cam, quarterback for some of our listeners that don't know that and whatever. He's got his own podcast and's really been doing well in the media. So now he's spinning off, and he's going to be the host. I guess he's going to be the AJ. And then there's another young lady. I want to say it was Nicole or Ashley.
Ashley Nicole Moss. Yeah.
Oh, Ashley Nicole Moss. Yeah, I know. She's on CBS.
Yes.
Was she on CBS?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys know. So that's going to be launching soon. What are your thoughts? Another cultural classic with a little spin, right? Like it's some creativity, right? No, yes. What do we
I mean,
think?
here's the thing. If you get a chance, if you have an opportunity to have a conversation with young people, right? One of the things they always wonder is like, how come us older people like hate on what they got, right? And it's very clear, like I ain't got shit, right? So like this is why we hate, you don't got nothing, right? And but you swear like you want to protect and you want to stand 10 toes down on whatever your generation has built, but you've built nothing, like you have nothing, and it's not us, it's you all that keep reaching back to the greatness that existed before. But also I see what's happening with brands, and the NBA is doing it. I think we talked about this on the last call about going back to NBC, tapping into some of like the legendary, iconic people to bring value back to the product. And so 106 is doing this with their own brand. I mean, well, BET is doing this with their own brand. I don't have a problem with it. If they want to leverage the 106 brand, but tap into sports, because sports right now, especially for like youth culture, might be bigger than music, really. When you look at like AAUs, and just sports in general, like it's a really big cultural, like significant thing right now. I think it's a smart play. And Cam Newton, I don't think is a bad choice either, because I think he's really kind of tapped in with the young people and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what it could be, but I didn't hear about it until just now.
I'll reserve my judgment to after I see it. Cam knows ball. I mean, at football. I don't know what he knows about basketball. I mean, I don't. He could be the greatest. He could be a basketball savant for all I know. I don't know. But in terms of football, I've listened to Cam on TV. Cam knows ball. I know he knows ball.
Mhm.
And culturally, I think he's on the cutting edge. I mean, I myself wouldn't do it, but in terms of just like fashion, he's on the cutting edge of what people like. And Cam has a big personality, and he's very ball knowledgeable. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I question how many kids are actually going to be tuned into it for the sports or the showmanship, but I guess to BET doesn't matter. Ratings are ratings. So
Mhm.
and I mean they probably will keep an element of music too. I mean, because nowadays sports and music, it's all entertainment, man. It's
Yeah.
always gone hand in hand. You've always seen athletes in videos. You've always seen rappers, musicians courtside trying to be in the face of the athletes. You got the celebrity all-star games in basketball. You got sometimes the way they do the Pro Bowls and stuff now. You got Dion bringing celebrity musicians to practices and stuff at Colorado. And I mean, a lot of athletes want to be musicians, and a lot of musicians love to tell tales about how they used to be the greatest athletes ever. Like, I mean, so
Telltales, not telltales.
I'm just like, I mean, and some of them really were good athletes. So
Yeah.
it,
Some of
it
them
kind
were.
of goes hand in hand. In a way, you kind of can't have one without the other at this
Mhm.
point.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we do photo shoots with kids, and in the background, you got the music playing. Like, what I'm saying? You got the camera panning, spinning around in circles with name your favorite. I mean, I'm in Georgia, so name your favorite Atlanta rapper usually. So it's whatever, man. So I get it. Hopefully, I will see. I'll reserve my judgment. If I don't like it, EJ, I'm gonna text you like, bro, this is
Brothers.
trash. But but I'll check it out. Then we'll just see what it looks like.
I love it. I love it. All right. So just moving on. Mike Epps was in the media. Mike Epps is, I guess, really Indiana born and bred. I didn't know it. He was repping like that to All Star when I went down All Star last year, 2 years ago, whatever. But he's building a boxing gym, for the community, which is interesting, because boxing, as I have the king of the UFC on with us as well. I mean, I want to ask him what the numbers were we had International Fight Week here in Las Vegas. So I'm gonna get ready to cue the numbers up, Gene. But what do you guys think? As far as boxing, right? Like that used to be one of those sports. I mean, it changed Mike Tyson's life. Used to be kind of like the Boys and Girls Club, for the inner city and things like that. And it's the sweet science of boxing. Have we lost that?
Only in the pros. Amateur boxing is still very much alive and underrated. I was down there. Some of my former kids from Toledo were out here boxing, won a couple. And for me, I've always been a fan of amateur boxing more than pros. You got guys dodging each other and not wanting to fight for their record or holding out. You can kind of take this back to basketball too, where somebody said it in college, they already got the money. There's no shine and going pro, but you get these amateur guys who are literally fighting for their lives and fighting for their careers. And they have something to prove still. I came into boxing really late, really late and accidentally just by way of working, but amateur boxing is still alive. And I think USA Boxing has done an amazing job with it.
I like that humbleness. You came in late. You mean when you owned your gyms? Oh, okay.
It was still late.
When she owned a couple of gyms, she came in late. But no, that's a great point, though, Coach. Like, just that still seems that it has that amateurism to where they're actually fighting to get where they need to get some stuff under their belt. That's a great point.
I didn't even like pro boxing at the time I discovered amateur boxing. And then all of a sudden I was like, all right, let me take another look at this. Not, but yeah, it was great. And I want to say on 2 of those days down here at the convention center, they had the highest attendance that they've had in years.
Wow. Well, boxing capital, right? Unless King Gene has something to say about that, man. Gene, so congratulations, man. Had a chance to get to the fights. It's a great thing that the city holds every year, where you're not only bringing UFC to the States, but it's actually International Fight Weekend. So congratulations, man, and thank you for making it, because I know it's a long week for you, man. How you feeling, man?
Tired. Man, I'm so tired. But no, it was a good week, man. It was a good week. Good fights. The fights on it. Ilya's a star now. So
Yeah.
I got
it's gonna
Patty
be huge,
over there.
man. What? Have you seen Patty fight?
Yeah.
No, come. I can't get into that. But I can't get into that. I can't talk about that.
Got some exclusive right there. It's about to happen.
Yeah, it's a reason. It's a reason they rank where they ranked. But no, I mean it was a huge week, man. It was huge. It was good. Great International Fight Week, one of our best ever. And
That's
just
good.
like I'm with everybody else. Current boxing state is ran like AAU. That's the issue. It's like, and that's what I'm afraid of for NBA. That's what I'm afraid for these others. Once it gets to the AAU and it starts getting ran by AAU, it's gonna crash and burn. Yes, people gonna make a lot of money, but the product gonna suck and nobody gonna want to watch it. So, and that's what's going on in boxing. That's why nobody fight each other. You have all these different promoters. Nobody wants to work with each other because they're trying to protect their guy. And these promoters, they basically got these boxes in 360 deals. So
Not the record label deals.
so that's why they all just jammed up. That's why nobody fights each other. And hopefully with this new venture with TKO, we can change all that. So
Gene, do you genuinely think people are not going to want to watch? I mean, because we watch a lot of bad shit now. And when I say we, I just mean like as a side.
Yeah.
Like, we are very comfortable watching a lot of bad shit. So do you genuinely think it'll get to that point where people won't watch?
Oh, the NBA? I mean, the issue is not that people won't watch. Because right now, NBA is in a situation where people only watch via Twitter. I started noticing that. They only watch via social media. They see highlights, clips. They don't really watch games anymore. Like, people don't do it no more. So that's where a lot of the engagement, that's why NBA leads in engagement. Like, by a lot. Like, they lead more than NFL in engagement on social media. By a lot, because nobody watches the games. It's hard to find the games. So you watch the second half. Yeah, I was like, but nobody's really watching the games. And the issue now is people not showing up to the games. When people stop showing up, sponsors don't care no more. They're like, okay, if you're not getting bodies in the game and eyes on it, why am I going to put all this money towards it? And so, like, especially with the whole, I know y'all probably touched on the whole Ace Bailey situation and his whole plot. And I don't know whoever his agent is. I saw a couple of videos. I was like, nah.
Sharif Cooper's pops. Yeah.
So Sharif over there acting like Nino Brown. I was like, Ace Bailey is definitely in the 360 deal. Like, so, like, he not even a legalized agent, and he's getting to run your stuff.
Yeah. So
that sounds like
that
sounds like you got hustled in your NIL, and you in the 360 deal.
There it is. So, any hype over this Crawford? Did that come too late? Crawford Canelo was announced that they're attempting to do that fight. You know, any hype or people watching that?
No, I think this is on Netflix, man. So it's gonna be big. I think people will watch that. Canelo's still a big draw.
Yeah,
like, Canelo still can draw fans, and now he's fighting Crawford, somebody that people know, more challenging. That's gonna draw in a lot of people. It's the old adage of Mexican style versus the defensive counter puncher black fighter. That's been the history of boxing. I think that's what it's gonna like. I think it's gonna draw eyes because of that.
You know what's funny about what I find funny about boxing is that I just don't think. I mean, I think at one point boxing was like king to a degree. Like you look at maybe like the 80s, early 90s. You think about the the Sugar Ray Leonard, and
a whole different thing. It had a whole different right?
Yeah, it was just different, and it's just now. I think what really hurt the boxing community as a whole is that like heavyweight division ain't been shit for a very long time. Like I remember when what's the dude? Like I just growing up, like you would look like outside of like Larry Holmes, and then when George Foreman came back, right? And we looked at heavyweight, these guys were like Adonises, like physically, like they would just come in and whatever. And then like Cash was just heavyweight because they was fat. I was like, this is not this can't be a professional sport anymore. It wasn't about skill. It wasn't, Ali was a skilled heavyweight. Frazier was a bruiser, but he was still a skilled heavyweight. Tyson was a skilled heavyweight. The Spinks, was a skilled heavyweight. Like there was, and even Larry Holmes when he was a very skilled heavyweight. Then we just got to the fact that he was just big and fat and throwing blows, and like that's nobody wants to watch that, yo. Nobody wants to watch that.
I feel like Butterbean was a big draw.
Do you?
I love it. All right, well, good luck boxing. I do agree that it will definitely be a draw, especially like the Netflix thing. Kind of. Even though Jake Paul had something, didn't he have a fight this weekend too? And that kind of slid by. I just kind of saw those clips.
Who knew Deontay Wilder was fighting this weekend?
There you go.
He fought
in Wichita.
So back to Gene's point, it's a tough go around, and back to marketing, advertising, and just even the timing of the fights, right? Like everybody even says that what's the greatest ever? Why can't I think of his name? You guys know his name. Floyd. Well, I mean,
Muhammad Ali. I say.
I'm not saying Muhammad Ali's name.
He's about to go.
We're talking about the era of people dodging fights because them boys fought. Thanks for the clarification. I love that. I
want to make sure which greatest we talk about.
I love everybody on here. That's why I love you. All right. So, but no, just the timing of the fights and how it's marketing and what it looks like nowadays. So, kind of moving on. I do want to talk about something. Bertie, I'm gonna let you bring this up because you definitely made sure I clarified a certain person's getting their jersey retired, and then I think we all should pause and give a hand clap for that.
Woohoo! Yeah.
Well, who's getting retired?
CP Candace Parker.
Oh, hell yeah! Now we could now we talking.
But she's getting it retired in LA. So she's gonna have it done.
We gotta put one of those up in every arena, man.
That part, just hang it up.
But she sold tickets for everybody for while she was doing it.
That part, it's actually been pretty cool. Like I mean, they've rolled out the red carpet and they've literally gone above and beyond for this situation for her. And they've literally brought out everybody. They're gonna officially do it at halftime of the game that's playing now, but they've had events all weekend. It's actually been pretty cool for the WNBA.
The Sparks in Chicago playing today? Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
Yep.
So that's my transition. Thank you, cuz like you did that on purpose. I appreciate that. So transitioning to Chicago, the W has been doing a great job, right? They're taking their time and they're executing and they're making sure they're putting these efforts out during this time. But MH and I had a show about this. Well, I don't even know about records. I don't know remember what season it was, MH anyway. Angel Reese was the quickest to like 500 rebounds and 500 points or something like that. So
Me
the me bounds?
Yeah, the me bounds.
Like, how do we feel about that record? Is it an authentic record? I mean, I love the W for pushing it, right? But like, is that a record that we need to pause and clap for?
No.
Record's a record.
I had a high schooler.
Hey,
I had a high schooler get 400 rebounds last year. I'm just saying, last year by itself. I'm just saying, I feel the same way you guys feel. Some of these records, I'm like,
it's the start of the stat book, though. You know how every year there's a new stat that's getting tracked in the NFL. So you just, we got to start a new line.
Hey, Amazon with their analytics is always saying, "Hey, let's follow this. We can track this. We can track this." Oh, I love it.
WNBA need to stop this. It's every other day is some weird where I was like, man, nobody cares about you combining 3 different things to make first person ever do this. I'm like, all right, cut it.
I feel like they're doing that in all the sports though. Like it's always something. It's always some random first person. Like what? Who? You're not. This is not going to get you into the hall. I can promise you that. Not at all.
Love it. All right, so sticking with the women's basketball, shout out to Dawn Staley, man. So she was recently so I'm on the board of directors here for the Southern Nevada Sports Hall of Fame, and she kind of came and attended, and it's a surprise. I'm not going to say the name, but we're going to have her on the show soon. So please check your calendars for that. But her new book, we always want to support everything that's Black here. So, I downloaded my copy. I don't know if you guys have seen it out, but definitely would love to hear her perspective of what she has to share. Because I believe this is her first book. Anybody correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it was good for her to kind of support. She definitely came and checked out Asia, her prodigy, while she was in town. But if you haven't seen the book, check out the book. I probably should have wrote the title down. But just you get your Amazon or anywhere you purchase your book, definitely support that. Pushing the narrative about the competitiveness of women sports.
MH, hold on. I don't want to cut you off. MH, you gonna let him glaze over her maybe being your next head coach? You ain't gonna say nothing about that?
No, I was gonna let see. I know EJ was about to hit it. I know.
My bad.
No, I was ready for it. I was gonna let CEO. I wanted to hear him first.
Okay, all right.
Hey, when it get to it, we can talk on it. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think it's cool.
So let's talk about it, right? So, what do we think? Is it gonna happen? Should it happen? No.
Should not.
I don't think it is. I think for one, the Knicks are in a very interesting situation in which the narratives around Thibodeau are vary. I've already expressed a ton about how I feel about him. He should have been gone. He's never going to bring you to a championship. However, he brought the Knicks to their first conference finals in a very long time. You don't get rid of him and it's no disrespect to Dawn, but it almost looks more on the side of entertainment and less on the side of winning. I don't think she's the best candidate out of all the people that you're looking at, right? So you don't do that just for the sake of doing it, just for the sake of historic purposes and being the first franchise to hire a woman. It's just a bad move on that. Now, her being on the staff, cool. If you want to bring her on as an assistant, I think that's great. But as far as head coach, nah, that's not it.
Absolutely.
Counter that.
Go ahead.
I totally disagree.
You know what? Do you know Dolan? Do you know Dolan? Dolan would do it in a heartbeat.
You saying he cares more about the perception than that? Listen, Dawn is a hell of a coach.
Thank you.
Hell of
Say
a
it
coach.
again.
Hell of a coach.
Yeah.
That being said, the answer to New York, I think, Mike Malone. I don't even know why we still sitting here.
No.
Like, you really, y'all don't think, man, listen.
You don't get rid of Tibbs and then get somebody that's cut from the same cloth.
Yeah,
Like, you don't do that.
baby Tibbs.
Yeah, that's the baby Tibbs. Like, it just then we look really crazy. Like,
Yeah.
it's just I like Mike Malone, but I just think if that's what we're going away from, you don't get more.
See, I listen. I believe in ring culture, and Tibbs is great, but he was an assistant on a championship team. Mike Malone has done it as a head coach, and not only has he done it as a head coach, he's done it as someone who had a hand in orchestrating a championship team. Like he had some say so in the trades we making. Let's go get Aaron Gordon. Let's get Michael Porter Jr. You know what I'm saying? He had some say so. I hear what you're saying. You don't get rid of Tibbs and then hire Mike Malone. I think them getting rid of Tibbs was more about Rick Brunson and Tibbs' relationship with Rick Brunson than it was about Tibbs himself. Much more his refusal to get rid of Rick Brunson. From some of the things that I've heard, I can imagine what it's like having the star player on the team and the number one assistant coach be his father. I can imagine. These are grown men. These ain't kids. This ain't Deion and Shador. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, I like Jalen Brunson, but we're not about to sit here and act like Jalen Brunson and Steph Curry. Two completely different deals. So in terms of having your dad on staff, I say go get Mike Malone because the things that you're going to need to win, like, you know why Indiana bested New York? It wasn't just because they had better players, because you can go down the line, and I bet you probably going to take some of them New York, a lot of them New York players before you take some.
No, absolutely.
I'm definitely taking Jalen over
Halliburton.
God rest his Achilles. Yes. Man, come on, man.
Well,
come on, dude.
I
listen. I like Tyrese Halliburton. I really do. But my superstar got to play night in, night out. You can't pick.
Yeah, but you got your superstar is different when your superstar is a point guard playing point guard versus a guy that just needs the ball.
I feel Jason Kidd gonna give me more than 14 in the conference finals, and he was the epitome of point guard.
But Brunson was a turnstile the whole time they played Indiana. Halliburton was like, "There go Brunson. I'm going after him every time."
Again, all of this is null and void if you have a better coach. Now,
That's true.
And now,
like
I don't know much about Mike Malone's ability to develop younger players, right? So, yeah, like the Rick Brunson thing might have played a part in it, but people over with the Knicks, everybody say we don't have a bench. How would you even know?
Because they never played. That's fair.
So,
Mike
Malone developed knows how to use the bench.
But
Beasley is the reason y'all lost.
Who?
It's trading 5 first rounds for Beasley.
Bridges. Bridges.
I was like,
Beasley.
Bridges. Trading 5 first rounders for Bridges is the reason y'all lost.
But
he was a waste. He was waste.
You can't bring up Joe. Like bringing up like once in a lifetime like talent. That's kind of like a
Don Staley also has nurtured talent. Greatest player in the NBA right now.
Listen, I got you. I feel you on that. But we have factual evidence that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant never won without Phil Jackson.
Absolutely.
So the coach. And I love both of them. The coach matters, bro. So
Phil wasn't coaching.
Huh?
Phil wasn't coaching.
Phil was on vacation.
Phil was chilling.
Why y'all gonna say Phil wasn't coaching? Like,
Tex was coaching. Tex did the coaching. Phil did the side with the players to make the play together.
Collaboration.
But I can tell you right now, I don't want to see Dawn Staley in the NBA. I don't want to see her. She's been instrumental in growing women's basketball. She belongs on the women's side, particularly even in college. And that rivalry, the so-called rivalry between UConn and South Carolina, there's a lot, even with South Carolina and Iowa, that brought people to the game. I mean, the game is growing itself, but Dawn Staley has been, the last 10 years, has been instrumental in bringing money, fame, and attention to women's basketball.
I agree.
And I do think she can handle an NBA, but we don't want to see it. And then I'm going to throw out another mic for you for the Knicks, but it's not Malone. I'm going with Budenholzer from Milwaukee and how he developed that team. Mike Budenholzer, the one that got fired in Milwaukee after they won.
He was a really good coach.
Right. I think he's a better coach than Mike Malone. That's just my
another question. Can we get a Mike Brown shout out since we're
talking about Mike? Yeah, I was about to say that.
Coaches, and then we can take it. We talking all things black. I still scratch my head as to why we ain't seen Mark Jackson on the sideline.
Well, that's
Mark
the easy
Jackson
answer.
is black-hole himself, man.
He's never. You don't want, man.
No. I would love to see Mike. I would love to see Mark Jackson.
I mean,
the coach of the Knicks.
That would be the most Dolan thing ever.
I think that,
yeah, it would be.
I don't think people give him enough credit. Like at the end of the day, like the culture and the blueprint to what Steve Kerr benefited from, Mark Jackson put in place. Like we can't act like this dude can't coach. Like he's clearly a very good coach. But his issue is his personal beliefs. His personal beliefs get in the way, and this is why he's not in the league.
So he's a great coach,
you can't make me go. You can't make me go to church, y'all.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to church. You can't make it.
Bible study. It wasn't church. It was Bible study.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't that. It was something else that was real big.
But he was at Golden State and very vocal against like the homosexual community out there, and like he was very. Organizations like, bro, we pay you this to do this. You out here making it hot. We got gay people that buy tickets, and like, nah.
And I believe the owner was gay. So I was like, dude, you never coaching again.
Yeah, nah.
You blackballed yourself.
Mama, there goes that man. All right, so where I wanted to jump at. I feel like my bad, John. I feel like I didn't give my nephew shine. First pick of the NBA draft. So is Cooper Flag the next Larry Bird? No. I want to start. Damn, let my nephew answer.
No, all right. Next question. Why we wasting? Don't waste our time. Don't waste our time.
There's about 47 other white guys you could have compared him to, and I might have said yeah, but Larry Bird, no.
How you said 47? How many?
Did you make up that question, EJ? You didn't see that anywhere, did you?
Yes, it is going around, and I'll post that on the site on our social.
That's the only white player people compare him to. Like,
everybody's Larry Bird.
I mean, you could do Christian Laettner, but like that's not a great because
no.
He wasn't one of the 47. He was not one.
Oh no, Christian Laettner made an All-Star. Don't do Christian like that.
Hey, he was on the Olympic team.
He was on the Olympic team, and he made an All-Star.
You gotta go.
Got a gold medal.
Got a gold medal.
Damn, Nuffy, I'm trying to help you out, man. They just shitting on you.
I think,
we'll see next year.
Bird is a stretch.
It's just I don't know. The Mavs' success next year is going to come down to who plays the one.
He's playing the one for y'all.
Yeah, right? He playing.
80 to point forward.
Yeah, he playing the one.
See, if it was Larry Bird, we wouldn't even ask that question. We'd say shit. Throw Larry up there.
Yeah, Paris go for it. He's running the point. Simple as that.
Yeah. Hey, just take that stance, young nephew. You say we'll show him. All right, we'll see.
Oh no, I still have faith. Hey,
I think he's gonna be good. I just think
Kyrie's staying, Gafford's staying.
Can I ask what has? I'm not saying what he is gonna be, but can I ask y'all this question? What has he done to suggest that he won't be a damn good NBA player? Like we
runner up in the NCAA tournament,
huh?
He was runner up in the NCAA tournament.
I mean,
he's going to be the best player in college, and
best player never to win it all.
He lost a lot of.
It's a lot of players like that, though.
Like, I'm just saying, yeah.
You know who he is? He He AK-47. If AK-47 stay healthy.
Hey, you talk Carolina?
He could jump.
He could jump
a little higher.
Stay healthy. A little
higher. He could jump a little higher. He could jump a little higher.
No, because AK-47 got hurt. If he can stay healthy, that's who he is. He can be a healthy AK-47.
And AK-47 was projected to be Rick Barry or
everybody's modern day GOAT. Hey, everybody's modern day GOAT say ring culture ain't the answer. So So I'm just so
Modern day goat.
Yeah, everybody
That's
modern
a
day
lie.
goat say ring culture ain't the answer.
The
So.
modern day
Yeah,
goat.
I've never heard
Cooper
goat
Flag got a
quantified
chance
like
to be
that way before. I'm using that now. You're modern day.
Modern day goat.
Right.
If-
He's Scottie Pippen. He's Scottie Pippen. That's who. That's the
Hell no.
comparison.
Whoa, now why would you
That's
disrespect Scotty like that?
No, because
I'm not disrespecting Scotty at all.
No,
His
that's like
game is
this-
like Scotty.
he-
I just
he
don't
is
know
like
if he's
Scotty.
Michael Jordan. Yeah,
He's
He-
like
yeah.
Scotty. He plays both sides of the ball. He's a two-way
Yeah.
player.
He has
I mean,
a chance.
yeah,
He has a
everybody-
chance to be who he has a chance to be who Keith Van Horn never was.
Oh, no.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
No,
Because
no,
Keith,
no.
Keith Van Horn kept getting hurt too.
Keith Van Horn could ball. He just
Bro,
was he
y'all bringing
underachieved.
white players out the woodworks, bro.
He underachieved. He
Keith
could
Van
ball.
Horn. He
He
could have
could
been one.
ball.
He could have been one of the 47 that dude was talking about.
He wasn't. I was like, can we get a Dan Marley throw out or something? But Keith Van Horn.
Like,
Damn,
Keith
Marley.
Van Horn.
Hey, I had them on
I'm thinking like a Chandler Parsons. He said Keith Van
Dang.
Horn.
No.
Nah, bro.
At least Parsons could jump and dunk. Like Keith Van Horn.
Keith Van Horn could hoop. That's not
Nah,
the
Keith
dude
Van
could
Horn.
hoop.
Keith, I'm here.
He just
That
had
dude
he
could
had
ball.
skinny legs, and them legs went away.
Right, he underachieved like so many, and he's not even a white. There's a ton of black players you could compare him to that underachieved. He could be a white Tim Thomas if you want.
Man,
Like,
Why y'all gonna throw Thomas on there?
no, Tim Thomas underachiever.
Oh, he's nice.
I think best case scenario he's a superstar. Worst case scenario he's Brandon Ingram. That's what I
Brandon
see.
Ingram was on the cusp of being a superstar for like a
but,
quarter,
but
right?
we knew he wasn't for like a quarter. Best case scenario, Cooper Flag's a superstar. Worst case scenario, he's Brandon Ingram.
I will say, in
which
say
case
worst
Dallas should have traded for Giannis instead of if he's Brandon Ingram, they should have traded for Giannis.
I say worst case scenario, Scotty Barnes.
They positioned him on a team that was already ready for success, and they orchestrated that real nice. So he has the opportunity to get a lot of wins really early with the team that he's on. So
Yeah, he does.
He's gonna carry the torch.
If he is who they're saying they are, Larry Bird Jr.
Yeah,
and we should see some championships in Dallas in the next 2 years.
No, we're gonna see Dallas be good, and Anthony Davis is gonna get hurt, and that's gonna ruin their chances.
But he didn't talk about guys on Larry Bird's team going up and down. We didn't care about that. Was Larry showing up? He got a shot. That's it.
I genuinely think Dallas is in a really good position because regardless of Anthony Davis getting hurt, because it will happen.
Yeah.
When Kyrie comes back, right? I think the two of them together, if he is who they say he's going to be, I think is more than enough if you put the right pieces around him.
They got the pieces too already. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
All the pieces are in place. They're just plug and play. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we know he's not the guy.
They need to put AD on that. What's his name?
Low management. He's already on that. He's already on that.
He's a 6-year center. Who's a 6-year center? Embiid.
Embiid
schedule. Yeah.
Play 30 games a year, and then
yeah, no back-to-back.
Get ready for the.
But he needs to actually perform. He can't take 10 games off and then come back and put up.
When was the last time Embiid played? What is it? A year and a half now.
The Olympics
last season.
The Olympics. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did. But he didn't play the whole Olympics. He went down to the Olympics too, right?
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah, he was. He did.
He did. You know what?
Got bad knees, man. It is what it is.
You know what's interesting?
He played 19 last year. What do you mean?
He played 19 games.
Yeah.
Minutes.
Oh.
10 minutes.
you know what I find very interesting about these athletes, like Kawhi, Embiid, right? AD. Prior to them, the injuries that these athletes were getting, like that was it. Their career was over. Like the fact that they're still being signed or stuck around is very interesting because you look at somebody like Brandon Roy, you look at Greg Oden, right? Like these dudes, they had one injury year, and like that was it. We ain't seen him no more. And Embiid ain't played a full season yet. And what this is like his 8th season?
Probably, yeah.
He hasn't played a full season once.
When you think of it like that, he doesn't have very many miles on him, so you should still sign him.
It's low mileage,
it's like
bro.
that car that you don't drive.
Good
It's
miles for
aging,
years.
but
Good
it's
miles
still
for
good
years.
under the hood.
It's just interesting that we're seeing this because we'd have never seen this before. We would have never seen it.
It's a good point.
I think that speaks to the lack of talent in the league.
He's one of 3 top
Don't
big
don't,
men.
hey, bro, don't do that because everybody swear this the most talented the NBA has ever been.
No. Meaning
not for the big man position being a physical dominant big man player. Like there's a couple guys out there, and then it's guys that can shoot, that can play the swing, but is better than they can play the 5. They just happen to be 7 feet.
I don't think they're as in shape now as folks used to be. Like that's and me feeling like that is just simply seeing how athletes operate now. Like I remember just the 2000s because I'm the latter end where I was conscientious enough to see MJ's second three-peat and understand what I was watching. Like those guys was playing 82 games, bro. Like just like these guys got 82 games and they were playing every game.
Yeah, but that's for the era when you can still drink out of the water hose, man.
Yeah, but I can't. But I can't.
These guys ain't built the same.
But the game was so much more physical.
Dude, they play.
They don't work
2
out.
games in Converse and 11s, bro.
Like, bro,
it was on your feet.
That's what I'm saying. It was much more physical, and they were healthy. So in my mind, the only logical explanation, if these athletes are so much better, is that y'all don't train the same way that those other
they play a lot more too. They play a lot more than players play back then.
KG just talked about this. There's a clip of him. It's him and Paul Pierce, and they're on some. I don't know if it's their podcast or somebody else, and they're talking about it. And they were like, "Yo, these dudes don't train. They don't work out. They get with one trainer. They do these one-on-one moves like 30 minutes, and then they go about their business." He was like, "Nah." He said, like they off season, whatever. Like they're playing. They practice during the season, and in the off season, like they're playing these grueling games like all the time. Plus, they're training like crazy to stay in shape. And they said that these players are just not doing that anymore. Then you training, you popping up on social media, showing you doing these one-on-one moves by yourself. Ain't nobody touch you, ain't nobody near you. Like you're not training your body for what the game is going to do to you, right? Anybody can step on a court and cross over the air, pull up and do step backs. But if you're not practicing, if you're not training with the physical grueling like pressure that comes with whatever, your body's not going to be prepared for that. And that's what he's saying. He said these players today don't do that. They just all of this. And I always thought it was weird that every time you show us you're working out, it's like you're by yourself. You still have to play the game. I don't care how skilled you are. You have to play the game. Do you know how to play the game? Setting picks. Moving without the ball, all of this stuff. They do none of that.
Yeah,
that's why the game is hard to watch. They don't know how to play, and they're not in shape.
And I can co-sign that because back in the day, like everybody used to go up to the Fundy in Houston because all the old NBA, like the NBA players, they all played there all summer. So everybody was just going to Fundy. You could just see a free run between NBA players that didn't play on the same teams, and they would be physical games. Even the women, like the Comets, used to go up there and play. And then like it moved over like Fundy, they'll go play at Rice. It depended on which one. That's like don't exist anymore.
Do you remember the clip? This was a couple years ago that went viral with Devin Booker. They were at some run and he was complaining that he was getting double teamed.
Yeah.
Oh, we're here to work on our bro. What do you think is gonna happen in the game, in the league?
It's not fun when I'm getting doubled up. I came on here to have fun today.
Like
I play for real.
How is not facing normal basketball thing? Like, how does this prepare you to be? You don't want to win. This is what it comes down. So it can't be about win culture. You clearly don't want to win. You just want to go out there and dance around and jack up threes and let nobody touch you. And then it's
in the videos.
All in the videos. Weird, yo.
They have to go get their manicures and stuff. They got other stuff to do. Like their nails painted and all that other stuff.
Our
lot of
athletes
media
used to
too.
be gladiators, man.
Mhm.
That was like our athletes used to be gladiators. Like, I mean, again, I'm speaking for myself. We used to look at professional athletes, the Jordans, the Shaqs. For me, like the Reggie Whites, I used to look at them dudes and aspire. Man, I want to be like that dude. Like,
Right.
I want to look like him. I want to play like him. I want to talk like him and walk like him. And again, maybe this is just the older perspective. I don't hear younger kids talk about athletes like that anymore. You know what they say? Man, I want one of them cars. I want a chain like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't say I want to walk like him. I want to be able to command a room like him. Like we used to look at them like they were. To me,
Like,
that was peak. And to me, that was peak.
I want to be.
Yeah, to me, but to me, that was peak. This is what, like Reggie, for me, like Reggie White, this is what, and I'm not even talking about him preaching on it. I'm talking about just the aura that he had, how he played. Like, to me, that's what a grown-ass man's supposed to be like. Like, it was a gladiator.
Listen.
Like, I can't say that you look at athletes like that anymore. Because
Ain't
I
no
feel
more
like a lot
grown-ass
of them
men in the
don't,
league.
like, they don't conduct themselves like that. Like, they
No,
don't.
but I also don't think I don't think you, like, back in the day we didn't really know what Michael Jordan was doing. We just
That's
saw
true.
him in the game
That's true.
time, right?
Yeah,
Now you
that's
can
true.
just look up what's MJ doing, what's LeBron doing, how does dude train, how does, you know what I mean? And so, like, kids, they've never left a voicemail. Remember when we used to have to call somebody and hear the answer machine and
Yeah.
leave a message and wait for them
Yeah.
to call us back?
Yeah.
Nah, they just hit them. Yeah, they'll just invite, hit them in the DM. So I just think it's like the process, or what we thought the process was to get to the
Right.
final results. They can just look it up, honestly, and I think we've lost the art in that.
Listen, speak,
ChatGPT in the
so look,
career, yeah.
But yeah,
listen,
yeah.
Speaking of Reggie White, my
Make me-
all-time favorite clip is him chunking Larry Allen.
Oh, bro. Bro.
Hall of Famer Larry Allen chunking
Bro.
him like a child.
Like a child, bro.
It's like, boom, get out the way.
Yeah, they used to
go ahead.
be myths. Like they were mythical legends to us. And now, aside from the access changes a lot, but also what we're seeing in this access that we're getting is like we're like, I work harder than you. I'm not even in the league. And this is like, they're not. I mean, I guess the standards for society and the public has changed. Maybe these kids do look at them as idols. I don't know how you can idolize people who don't want to be great. Like, that's just what it comes down to. When I first moved to Vegas, one of the first things EJ did with me, he got me a ticket. We went to the Southern Nevada Sports Hall of Fame, and they were inducting Mike Tyson. I got to meet Mike Tyson. Like, just standing in front of him, I was just like, he's everything that I thought he was and more. Just his presence was that demanding, that like bright, that it's like, nah, he everything you say about him, everything that he's earned, it's accurate and he deserved it. And you could just tell by standing in front of him, he put in all the work and fought all the battles to get to where he was. Today, you just don't look at players like that because it's just clear that they don't put in the same work.
Let me ask you this then. Do you think guys are just around too long? Like, I mean, we talk about the Wizards Jordan or whatever the case is, but LeBron has been around for 25 years. Like, we've seen the top of LeBron. Now we're seeing some of the lower parts of LeBron, enough where you can take shots at him. When MJ was three-peat both times, you couldn't really take shots at MJ because he was, hey, three-peat, I'm out. I'm out. I got my championships. I'm out the game. Now we done seen LeBron win championships, go down and change school or change teams, and people can talk about him. Like, he's not even like he's not like a god anymore. He's like a normal person. We've seen too much of him.
I tell people staying with one team their whole career is bigger than anything you can ever do.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta stay, bro. Like, you gotta stay there.
Who is it now? It's just Steph left, right?
It's just Steph. Just Steph is the only one.
But like, if Steph doesn't make the playoffs for 2 more years, how are we gonna be talking about Steph?
Well, all right, because
Steph is going.
So how are we gonna be talking? How is the narrative going to be about Steph?
I don't think it changes. I don't think it changes on Steph.
I think Steph will always get that nod because he'll be the only person to say that he dominated during the LeBron era. So he can and
we've already knocked LeBron down a notch.
But LeBron knocked himself down. Everything that we say about LeBron,
have we really knocked LeBron? Where we knocked him down to? I mean,
everything we say about
LeBron.
Nobody took.
The consistency, he's the second greatest player of all time. So
I totally agree.
I totally agree with that. But that's
to take shots
at three. I think 3 too. But that's
to take shots at the second greatest player in NBA history is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you really think about it,
I think
we take shots at KD.
He,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
KD is
but
like one of the best we've ever
He
seen.
deserves those shots, though.
I think though, MH.
That's what I'm saying though. But like when they're at the peak of their powers, get on out the game and nobody's taking shots at you like that.
I think that goes back to what you were saying though, MH. The time has changed. And back in the day, if I poked shots Jordan, I was in my house and I was talking to my buddy holding a Colt 45.
Yeah,
now
that's
you're
fair.
on Twitter, you're on Instagram, you're sending them DMs. I hate you. You missed that shot. The access is completely different than when.
Also, the shots that we take to LeBron, we didn't take shots. We don't take shots at LeBron as if LeBron has walked through this whole thing like just righteously. Like the shots we take at LeBron is because he brought on himself.
Yeah, he says things.
He's the one that did these things that with the announcement and not 4, not 5, no 6, and I'm out here playing chess and GM and trying to he did all of this. He's the one who said. He's the one who said.
Like LeBron like that.
No,
I was like,
he's the one who said. He said after that championship and we came back, I knew I was the greatest ever. And now, why are we talking about ring culture? He did this. We didn't do it.
You he did that.
He did that.
Michael Jordan also referred to himself as Michael Jordan.
Man, you know how
look,
it's like people.
Same thing.
Here's the difference, though. Like that's him again. It's consensus. I think he's a top. First of all, I think it should be defined most accomplished and greatest, but that's another conversation
What's
for
the
another
difference?
day.
Fair. I agree. I agree.
That your accomplishments don't necessarily. Put it like this. There's a
I have
reason.
officially lost control.
There's a
most
reason.
accomplished and greatest.
What I mean by that is there's a reason that the players think Kobe and Jordan are in a league of their own, and then everybody else is up. There's a reason the players feel that way.
Great basketball players.
So,
and
but
they have
I
the
think
achievements.
when you talk, I'm just talking about just on court. That's two different caliber of dog, and I don't think anybody that works in the media who don't play
in that category
like
is Charles
them guys.
Barkley the GOAT then?
Who called Charles?
I'm just asking. I'm like, who gets to be in that category?
I mean, Charles Barkley's a good. He's a good. It makes my point. Like we don't even recognize the greatness of Charles. I mean, because he's been great.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it's the guy that doesn't,
we don't even talk about. Charles Barkley was the MVP in this league. You know what I mean? Like he was a guy during the Jordan era.
Barkley was cold,
and we don't even
his book. The achievement guys.
I mean,
it should be the achievement goal.
It's the same in football. Like we got people talking about Cam Newton like he don't know ball. This man was an MVP in the era with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Drew Brees.
Great.
Number one pick.
Cam, you know why they
national championship.
You know why they don't trust Cam? You know why they don't trust Cam and they don't believe in him?
Because
he ran 15 plays. That's why they don't believe in him. The offense was 15 plays. That was the playbook. That's why they don't believe in him.
That's
exactly why they don't believe in him.
I raise people that have you seen Lamar Jackson's play?
No,
they're not running a ton in Baltimore.
No, it's not.
He's great at what he does.
It's been a lot of shows. But I have to bring it back up. Tim Tebow won a playoff game. I'm just saying.
Hey, bro.
I gotta bring Rocky Marciano out.
That's funny.
Let's bring that out.
That's funny. But back to what we were talking about Bron, like folks take shots at Steph all the time. He don't go on social media and respond. He just say, "Watch me win this Finals MVP and beat Boston." When ESPN had us only a 15% chance of winning this.
Hey,
series.
with that being said,
man,
I got a question for you. Then with that, so Steph is going down as the greatest shooter in the history of the NBA. What is LeBron going down as?
LeBron.
The all-time leading scorer in NBA history.
Okay, all right.
The all-time leading scorer.
There we go.
I don't know. I mean,
no, I'm not. I'm just trying to say, like, Jordan is known as the greatest scorer of all time.
Yeah.
Steph is the greatest shooter. You know, you got your greatest defense. Like, what is LeBron's the greatest all-around basketball player?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay, I'm good with that. I'm just wondering. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Hey, CEO, you on mute?
And then
check your mic. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Somebody talk to the guy in the studio.
LeBron just sent you a curse, man. You talk that shit about LeBron, did it to himself. You did it to yourself.
When they said the black SUVs pulled up.
You get me talk about the GOAT like that, man.
I'm good now?
Yeah.
Okay. My mic died. My bad. Look, that's funny. I've never really thought of Mike as the greatest scorer, one of the greatest. I mean, he's one of the greatest scorers, but I never thought of him like that.
Who was
like,
better? Because he didn't shoot the three and he did it. Who was better?
Right? No. But there's people like I look at KD. I mean, I think of score. I'm thinking like the ability to score like at all levels and different methods and things of that nature. Like I look at Melo.
I'm gonna let you finish. But I got a question about that KD statement. I'm gonna bring up a point real quick.
So like I just don't. But Jordan, I just think greatest player. Period.
Yeah,
right. I just don't think about him as like the greatest scorer. He's one of. Clearly, the dude can't be stopped. But I just think of like there's certain people who just their style of play is just. You look, like I said, the Melos, the KDs. It's like, what do you think you can do to actually stop them? Because they're going to kill you, and they're not going to do anything else. They're not going to pass the ball. They're not going to do nothing else. They're just going to kill you for points. And I don't think about Jordan like that.
So I have a question for all of those on the KD might be the greatest scorer we've ever. How many 60-point games has KD had? I'm asking.
I don't know. What's that number?
My man King. Go ahead.
Zero.
How many? Look that up. It's less than 5.
You're zero.
Also, KD
never.
And it's so funny because I included
how many 70 points? Like where did we look at his physique and yes, he can score, but why is he regarded as that and held in that esteem?
I don't think
I would like to
put
it like this. James Harden.
It's efficiency. It's efficiency. It's his efficiency level. It's to get on the court and give you all of that in 22 minutes with 50% shooting. And the X guy just did Jalen Brunson just took 40 shots and still ended up.
Hey, you don't have to do Brunson like that. You just, Brunson wasn't even.
Also, KD is not a scorer like Melo. Like Melo's a volume shooter, right? KD's his whole thing, even when he went to Golden State, he was like, I want to play the right way. I want the ball. He's not going to go out and try to get 70. Like, there are other scorers who, like, that's just their MO. Like,
my theory will stand as this. No one cared about efficiency until we tried to find reasons to why Bron couldn't win a championship at that time. Like, so when he wasn't getting it done.
I don't think efficiency was Bron's thing. Bron's thing was wouldn't take the last shot.
Well, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah, he would pass to the open man.
Cool. Listen to what I'm saying.
The right way.
The efficiency number, like player efficiency, PER, player efficiency ratio. No one really cared about the efficiency stat until we tried to find reasons as to why that man was still the best player in spite of his inability to get it done in a championship.
Because they ain't had nobody to team up with.
They use that to put him ahead of Kobe. They use that to put him ahead of Kobe.
He is ahead of Kobe.
No, he's not.
At what?
Not even a question.
No, he's not.
He is, bro.
Doing
what? Kobe never walked past to a press conference after he lost.
I don't care. Kobe's ahead of Bron for me.
Hey, bro,
he's ahead of Kobe.
In my mind, like I said,
there's way ahead of Kobe.
There's a difference between most
You're high. Stop smoking.
Way ahead of Kobe. I've seen a better version of Kobe and Michael Jordan. I've not seen a better version of LeBron James. He's one of one.
I mean, people don't choke like that.
I've not seen a better LeBron James.
I've seen people choke like LeBron. That's a lie.
Have you seen a better LeBron James?
I've seen one that win
people choke like LeBron.
Win better.
Who's a better version of LeBron James?
I've seen one that win better.
Magic Johnson.
That's all LeBron is. Shaq. Go straight to the basket and run people over. That's all LeBron did.
I
grew up in the era to shoot threes. That's it.
I gotta run. Just real quick on the whole scoring thing. In my humble opinion, I truly believe Carmelo Anthony is the greatest scorer to ever play. Like, you can't find anybody who can score
all the above.
As many ways.
All levels.
Jump shots, one dribble, handle, three.
He can abuse you in the paint. He can shoot the three.
MHU was in Denver.
Only thing I will argue about Melo. Only thing I will argue about that with Melo is that I don't know if Melo is as good in the open court as we've seen MJ or Kobe be.
Fair.
Because Melo is not as athletic.
But that too is a facet of scoring, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
but he still, if you
Fair
want
point.
just the metrics of it all, he still has more boxes
metrics.
checked than
How
everybody
many
else.
70-point games does
He's
Melo
getting
have?
the way. How many what?
70 or 60-point games Melo got.
He's got a couple 60.
He got a couple 60.
He got one in New
I'm
York.
saying,
I think he got
that
one
was a
in.
new bar for shooters.
I think he
so
got
I'm
one
just-
in Denver. He did
How
what?
many 100-point games they got?
I mean, I as much as I can't stand it, you could argue that James Harden is
Negative.
James Harden was cold.
Negative.
A
Harden is a
scorer.
great. Hey,
He's
great
a great
scorer.
scorer.
He don't got
It's a-
multi levels.
He's
He
a
don't have
volume
multi-levels.
guy.
No, I
He's a
agree.
volume guy.
But we
You
go
know
back to stats. He's a stat guy. Did someone say let's measure some stats? He's a stat guy. Triple double king.
And
I'm
see,
a-
I
I'm
think
a- I'm
bringing
a-
up,
I'm a-
bringing up
I'm a
Harden
eye guy.
is the
I
reason why
feel you.
Durant is regarded as such a great scorer. Because when you bring up a Harden, then what you have is two guys that can score the basketball, but one guy can go on any team in the NBA and get his money. The other guy has to go and take over the ball on that team to get his money. That's why I think Kevin Durant.
My biggest thing with some of these players is when it comes down to just straight clutch time, and you have no bag to get to score. A lot of these guys, like Durant, if you want to stop Durant, all teams did is get inside his chest because he'll turn over the ball every time. So like when it kept like, yeah, in the flow of the game, he's gonna score a lot because it's the flow of the game. Nobody playing defense, no way. Nobody really playing until the fourth quarter. That's why you see these guys like Harden, the rest of the guys they get in the playoffs, they don't do well. It's because teams are really locking in now. They're really locking in on your weaknesses, making you do it. And then when you can't do it, then everybody like, oh, he can't do it. He's a flopper. He does this. He can't do it in the clutch. Dude, all these guys has a lot of
So
weaknesses.
you saying if he can get to a bag to score, then he co- so what's Steph Curry got a bag to you?
Correct.
No,
Thank
Steph
you.
does
Yeah, I
not.
was about to say
Steph.
that.
I didn't say
What's
Steph have a
Curry's
bag.
Cause all I'm saying, I feel like when
I
I'm
think
watching
Steph
Steph
is
Curry
terrible
score
in
when
the
he
fourth
feel
quarter
like
of the playoffs.
I think Steph Curry score when he feel like it.
In the playoffs, Steph Curry has some of the worst games I've ever seen in my life.
Correct.
And he just gets away with it. The media let him get away with it.
I think
But he has a lot of bad
I
games.
think
We
it's
can go on about
all
this
day long.
for days. So I want to kind of keep it back to the topic really quick. I want to get one more for CEO has to leave really quick. So they're calling it the steroid Olympics that are coming to Las Vegas. It's going to be held at Resorts World. But that's like the hood name or the street name for it. But it's really about enhancing athletes and people, we all want to see the records broken, right? The home runs, how far you can knock stuff out the park. Like all those things are captivating as far as the sports story. Are you guys watching or interested in the steroid Olympics, or what are your thoughts about it? And I guess after you guys go ahead.
I just want to know what events though, because that's going to get my interest level up.
That's it. That was a good thing. I didn't do my homework. I should have did my homework. I just heard it, and I just want to throw it out to the masses. So maybe I'll get more information of what games are going to be played, right? Because is it boxing, right? You're going to see.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, I want to see that. I need to see what that look like.
Wait. So you're saying, EJ, you're saying like these athletes are coming. Everybody is going to be enhanced by some sort of drug, and then we're just trying to see their performance on the drug.
Who got the best chemist?
Don't we have professional leagues already?
5100 meter racing,
listen.
100 meter sprint, 110 meter hurdles, weightlifting, snatch, clean, jerk.
Just think about Usain Bolt on some of that Balco.
Hey, listen, baseball. Oh Lord, baseball. I don't care what y'all say. Jamaica cheating. They just found out how to do it.
They say it's the sweet
That was
potato. It's all in the root.
It ain't that, man. It ain't nothing but
It's the yam.
it ain't nothing but ackee and saltfish and some coconut water, bro. That's all that is.
Look, you know what? They didn't let baseball players take it though. Bring steroids back to
I was
baseball.
about to say, baseball is the only sport where they should allow it.
let it slide. It's baseball.
They should allow it. They should welcome it. They should have steroids.
I told somebody, I was like, baseball used to put up NFL ratings for baseball games.
And
Let
so
them
that-
take
I think-
steroids again.
And I think that's part of what this, and I want to say he's from Australia or whatever, but they're looking to bring it together because they're saying there's a good way to put steroids together, right? So they want to put these cocktails together, show that they can be helpful, not harmful, right? Because a lot of this stuff is when you talk about some of the steroids and stuff, it's that back locker room talk about like, yo, hey man, what creatine was when creatine first came out. Someone was like taking this powder and it was supposed to make you good, but just these other kind of healthy concoctions that they want to train. So that's the kind of premise that they're pushing, but it's going to be interesting to see how the steroid Olympics take off.
The only people that complain about the steroids are the former players who didn't do it, right? They're the ones who complain. No, for real, because they're looking at their legacy, the narrative, and possibly being like overshined because people are like breaking records. Steroids doesn't make you a better player. It just makes you stronger and more durable. Baseball, you still have to have good hand-eye coordination. Steroids does not help you do that. And then they said something about, I remember they were talking about the statistics, particularly with baseball and like the home runs. They was like, yo, if you were already hitting a ball 400 feet, 450 feet, like, and they said, I think steroids increases your power by like, in baseball, it was like something like 10% or whatever. So it's like you're hitting a ball like a extra 45 feet. Like, what are we really talking about here?
I mean, but that could be the difference in a guy
if my check swing is 375 now, it's a problem for you.
You said what?
When I'm check swinging hitting 375, then we got an issue.
I mean, yeah, but like particularly with Barry Bonds, right? Like when you really look at it statistically, like he was already.
That's why I'm laughing.
He was Hall of Fame in Pittsburgh,
and he still decided to cheat. You gotta love it.
That's what makes it funny. Nobody cared until that dude. It's like, hey, you good now. Hey, you way too good. Now we got to invest.
He was too. Yeah, he was like the best player before.
I know, but I'm saying they're like, hey, we can't have the best player be that good.
We can't have the best player doing it.
I agree.
He said that was for Wade Boggs, man.
Yeah, that was Wade Boggs. We needed Jose.
Theo, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with all of y'all, especially on this, especially on the Barry Bonds. My only pushback is this. You talked about durability. It's a 162 game season. Like we also just talked about how these modern, let's just say in basketball, like we just talked about how often these guys get hurt. Like what if whatever steroids you're taking is allowing you to cheat the workout process? Like that's my only thing. Yes, the hand-eye coordination.
Man. That's just
blood cycling, right?
I mean, have you
another thing where
listen, 162 games, you deserve to take steroids.
Yeah,
I mean,
also,
you deserve it.
Let's not act like baseball is the same as all these other sports. Yeah, it's 162 games. Yeah, you might be out in the heat and you're talking about exhaustion and stuff like that. This is not one of the most physical games that is out there.
No,
sometimes you can go. You can play 5-6 games in the outfield. You can play 5-6 games in the outfield, only see the ball 3 times. Like
the only time you get any work in DJTO is between the innings.
It's the other stuff. It's the other stuff that I would raise though. The traveling, the constant travel, you constantly running.
It ain't traveling how we travel, man. When you
bro, they on private jet.
No. I'm sorry. Have y'all any of y'all ever pitched in y'all life? Pitchers and
I played baseball. I played.
Yeah, pitchers and catchers need to take everything.
Do you understand? Do you understand what? Like, you have any idea what water retention, like what type of water retention flying?
You don't have water retention when you land flat on the plane. I'm telling you from experience. You don't spoil this thing.
All I'm saying is it's so much that goes along with it. I agree, bro. The hand-eye coordination, steroids ain't got nothing to do with it.
Baseball players,
but that durability, like
baseball is one of the hardest things in the world to do is hit a round ball with a round bat, especially if it's coming at you, whatever. Okay, and that part requires skill. Baseball players physically are some of the most like daunting
athletes.
Physically,
they are ridiculous, man. Dude. Baseball players are.
And I look at it and I'm like, what are you really doing? Because like I know. Like I understand, like batting, like a lot of your power comes from your lower body and your legs and your core, but like they don't really do a lot. The pitcher and the catcher, outside of that, they don't really do a lot per game.
Hey, well, I don't know, but Mike Trout can't stay healthy, so they doing something,
right?
I don't know how you get. How does he not stay healthy? What is he?
Running into walls, man.
I was gonna say,
run into a wall.
Yeah,
you can stop that though. You can just not run into the wall though.
I mean, but Mike Trout has to do something because the Angels fucking suck. So.
Look, when you do have to make a play,
they still need that money.
It's physical as hell. It's not.
You might get your ass out there.
And Albert, you running, making diving catches, hitting the ground.
Okay, yeah. I love y'all, man. I gotta go.
Somebody's got to do something on the Angels, bro.
Please. And just last shout out to Coco Gauff. You know, we got to give her big praise and shout out for doing what she does. You know what I mean? Just a love to see her extending it. MA, should I miss anything? That's all I have, man. If you guys want to bring up anything, but I think I sent you the list. MH, I miss anything?
Hey, on a side note, man, I was just recently informed that cricket is the second largest world sport after football for market share. Anybody else know that?
Yes.
Cricket.
Yeah, every time I go overseas, there's everybody watching, bro.
I was like, what?
It's like,
You gotta think about it like this, right?
You go into sports, bro,
the biggest country that watches cricket has over 1.5 billion people. So
I just heard. I just want to make sure in Black Sports we stand connected to the community, man.
There's a cricket
just know that we're working on that. We're working on that. So it was the number one sport, by the way. Soccer grew in the last 3 years because of its push to the USA and stuff like that. But cricket used to be the number one sport before soccer, well, as you said, football, and then football overcame cricket. So once it kind of gets that push here to the States, it could kind of do another push.
Can't wait for the World Cup.
One last.
You still, man? You gonna go to the games, man?
I told my wife 4 years ago. I said I'll mortgage this house.
Man, I said I'm gonna hit one each.
That boy said I'm mortgaging the house.
I'm taking out loans, bro. I'm going to games.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm trying to do one in Mexico, one in Canada, one in here. So let's link up.
Yeah, I'll fly for free. So let me know.
My guy. See, hey, Ulysses, ask him about that lay down situation. You'll smell.
He does have a point.
Hey, bro, we on travel, bro. We ain't that travel, bro. We be hunting. He's up in the flight, like, bro. Like, God, dog. Mad, bro. It's me in between two current FBS offensive linemen. Like, are you serious right now?
Oh,
I can't wait to see that clip later. I know that's going straight to the
The
ground.
worst part about it is we all know the visual, though.
That's going straight to the ground.
Hey, Coach, man, we next season when I have it, we need you to send a picture, man, so we can post that.
I got you, bro. We gotta fly. We gotta fly out to. We open up at Fresno at USC, so that might be the one. It's gonna be a long flight, bro.
We may come check you out. Me and definitely in international may check you out the USC. So
come holler at us, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely give you a heads up on that. All right, Emmett, you had something for us? Are we doing final thoughts, or we'll talk to me?
Nah, the only thing that we didn't really touch on, and I think we kind of is OKC won the championship, but
that's messed up.
Yeah, I mean we
No
didn't
one
really
cares.
touch on it like that.
Watch the man shoot free throws and give fouls to the chip.
Don't do that.
That's Kobe, right? That's our boy. That's Kobe. That's what he said. That's our boy, right?
Easy on the Kobe slander. Easy on the
That's
Kobe
our
slander.
team.
I support two-way players. I like guys that play both sides of the ball and take over games. I'm sorry. All these one ball players like Brunson.
I was really hoping
it makes poking the bear.
Those are just stat guys. We don't care about stat guys. We want guys that actually playing basketball.
Hey man, he's the first scoring champ to win. What? He was scoring champ, MVP, Finals MVP, win championship. What? First in Shaq. I mean, that got to be something.
That's huge.
I think he's really good.
Kobe ain't never did that. Kobe ain't never did that.
Because they held their charge against him.
Oh, okay.
You know what it was. Don't act like you didn't have it.
Okay. So wrapping it up.
Don't act like you didn't. They know damn well Steve Nash didn't win those damn MVPs. With 14 points a game. Get out
Shaq
of
win
here.
MVPs or was it Kobe? Shaq win those?
No. The Nash MVPs was Kobe's MVPs. They stole
Bro, don't do that.
Didn't Nash beat Kobe though? Didn't Nash make him stop shooting in the playoffs?
Don't do that, bro. Like Shaq
Didn't Nash
playing
make him
against
stop?
me in the finals.
I would have stopped shooting if Smush Parker was my teammate too.
Like, come on, bro.
He made him stop shooting. He said, "Hey, I'm not shooting this whole second half."
I was like, y'all got Smush Parker next to me. Get me out of here.
That's our king.
He's better than LeBron. He ran from the smoke.
Yeah,
he ran.
All-time leading scorer. I know it.
I mean, it's not impressive when they don't let you play defense these days.
Yeah, maybe
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe not.
It's like,
I don't know.
All right. Well, hey, if no one else has anything, that's our June recap with a little bit of basketball GOAT debate. So we got to set some perimeters around that. I want to thank you all because you guys were on fire today. So a lot of gems. Always love doing this, man. We appreciate you. I hope the audience appreciates the conversation. And thanks everybody who's live in the chat. So Ken. Who else was there? Larry was in there. X was in there. Just a couple of other people. Thanks. Doc was in there. Anything else before we get out of here, MH? Or anybody else from the day before we close it out?
All good.
Man, shout out to those Astros still just doing their thing. They just do their thing. I don't know how we doing it, but they just do their thing.
Did somebody say cheating? Oh, no.
in the background. That's how they're doing it.
I thought the team was gone a long time ago. But somehow, I was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, we just still here. We're still here. Oh, man, make sure, dude, I saw the F1 movie. Go see the F1 movie.
Is
it's dope.
Is it out?
So good.
Yeah,
I saw it in IMAX.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, you feel like you in the car in IMAX.
There we go.
Like, that's how good it is.
Let me draw the boat.
You like you feel it. Like, oh, shoot. Like, okay, we going. Let's
Draw the
do
boat.
this.
There it is.
You had people leaning like they were in the car, like, oh, let's go, making the turns.
That's gonna be me for real.
I was like, oh, he filmed this good. Like,
Good stuff. Well, hey, please continue to check out the episodes. I mean, we really appreciate you all taking the time out. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of the month, and we'll see you all in July. And like we always say, please stay safe, practice gratitude, and know we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap.